Zoffany is the fourth man of British 18th century painting, more obscure than Reynolds or Gainsborough or Thomas Lawrence. He's also more peculiar, more subversive and something of an outsider, which makes him ripe for rediscovery in the Royal Academy's intriguing new show. This is the Tribuna of the Uffizi, Zoffany's masterpiece. It depicts a room in the Uffizi Gallery housing the Grand Duke of Tuscany's art collection, and the picture was commissioned by Queen Charlotte. It's a dizzying work, representing some 30 celebrated paintings and sculptures, and the brilliance is in the detail, but also in the liveliness, which Zoffany achieved by placing portraits of some 20 contemporaries in the picture. This, as well as placing Titian's Venus of Urbino centre stage, which offended prudish Queen Charlotte, is what cost him his royal patronage. The picture is full of jokes, the young men ogling the Venus de Medici's buttocks, and the group of homosexuals who've been expelled from Rome pointing out the homoerotic, the restless. The royals hated it. That contrived theatricality really characterised Zoffany from the start. You see it in the theatre pieces, theatrical portraits of theatrical portrayals, like Garrick as Macbeth or as Jaffa in Venice Preserved. And even in Mr. and Mrs. Garrick by the Shakespeare Temple at Hampton, depicting the actor supposedly relaxing at home, the appearance is of a stage set. And as soon as Zoffany began painting the court, he became a master of masquerade. You see it in the first portrait, Queen Charlotte with her two eldest children. He's dressed one of the princes as Telemachus, son of Odysseus, and the other in Turkish costume. And he's put in props like the Turkish carpet which he found and placed there, and chinoiserie figures. In that, and in George III and Queen Charlotte and their 6 eldest children, all dressed in archaic Van Dyck costumes, he's saying, look at the pretense and spectacle of society. The contemporary art historian Horace Walpole noted at the time that it was deliberately ridiculous. Zoffany's wit spared no one, certainly not himself. In this arresting self-portrait, he fixes us with a melancholy grin, aware of the frailty of life. The hourglass and the skull are classic memento mori, and they balance the opulent fur, symbolic of worldliness and luxury. But the extraordinary, almost sinister thing is that Zoffany's hand is forcing down the skull into a fixed grin, underlining his own rather fixed smile, and it's as if the skull is being made to laugh at mortality, just as Zoffany is made to smile at and flatter the rich and privileged. Nowhere is that ambivalence more pronounced than in the paintings he made in India after he'd fled Europe. These include set pieces of the same intense detail and lavish composition as the Tribuna. Colonel Morden's cockfight depicts 60 people centred on the English ruler Colonel Mordaunt and the local dignitary Asaf al-Dawla. Traditional readings have seen the work as an allegory of British imperial power play. The Indian is submissive, ingratiating, fat, indolent. The British guy is taut and statuesque. But Zoffany may also have been alluding to rumours about their friendship, which were rife, and suggesting a complicity between the two of them. Certainly, many of the Indian characters are drawn more sympathetically than the expatriates in his society portraits. It's hard not to see the fluid, sensitive depiction of the Indian servant and even perhaps the dog, compared to the stiffness of the other sitters in the Blair family, for example, as anything other than veiled self-portraits of Zoffany, the nomadic foreigner, always on the margins.